It's an Arthurian tale, another retake on the legend of King Arthur and Excalibur. Cameras can completely inform a look of a film. I tested many different cameras, and the Venice eventually came out on top because of what it could creatively offer through the latitude and the dynamic range, its colour space, its full frame capabilities, and also the ergonomics of the camera.
This seems like they've really done their homework with the colour science. It's got so many stops, more stops than you need, dynamic range. It's also very organic. Any noise it does create is a nice grain. In the shadows, they're so clean.
We tested the entire workflow, which is very, very, very important with digital cameras. You can't just look through an eyepiece and say, yeah, that's a great image.
It's more about how you're going to move the data you're going to film through into post and then to the final picture.
Not only did it deliver beautifully for me creatively, but also my DIT was enabled to work with live grading on set.
Taking log from the camera, and I was using live grade and my LUT boxes to apply the show LUT that was created with Greg Fisher and James Friend, and create CDLs on a scene-by-scene, shot-by-shot basis.
It enabled them to work quicker and more securely.
Half a terabyte would be 40 minutes of 6K. It's a big difference, and a big cost difference for post.
I most certainly hadn't shot in large format before. And when you do the side-by-side tests, the image is quite staggering. I think working with HDR does inform the way I technically light a show. Naturally, with such a high dynamic range, and you're going to have very rich blacks and you're going to have very bright highlights. What we found that worked beautifully with the Venice is, due to its fabulous latitude and its dynamic range, we could confidently know that what we were capturing, we could create power windows around the campfire or alternatively around the actor's face and adjust the exposure.
We were shooting 6K, 79, S-Log, 3 Cine. We would offload them on set, so we would make 2 backups. It'd be sent to the lab, and the lab would apply the CDLs and the show LUT to the dailies, and obviously do all the conversion process. Now, considering we're shooting 6K RAW, it's incredibly efficient.
It enabled them to work very swiftly and securely to turn the data around, so we had rushes.
They will then create what's known as dailies, which will go up to a viewing platform of some description for producers and everyone to watch. They will make an editorial copy, editorial dailies. Obviously that will go over to the edit suites, and then we'd have the footage for Greg to start grading.
Greg Fisher was involved with Kirst from the testing stage, working with James Friend to develop the look of the show, setting up suitable HDR and Rec 709 LUTs, going through to grade the first 6 episodes. He developed a HDR LUT for the show, and then he made a Rec 709 version for it to be used on set and by VFX. Everything was Rec 709 until the final grade was up and running. All the grading is done in HDR, that being the only mastering render. A Dolby Vision Pass produces the Rec 709 metadata via the CMU.
The electronics behind the camera are pretty groundbreaking. I love the pictures that come out of it. The guys that developed the camera and developed the sensor have done an extraordinary job because it's, frankly, I think it's the best digital camera out there on the market.